All right, hey everybody, RV Enthusiast here. Nice seeing you again. Hey, we are working on the Nakto Santa Monica. I got the trike in, and then on the same day, I got a little piece of mail. I wasn't sure what it was, but what it happened to be was the new controller for the Santa Monica by Nakto. So they didn't send a display. That kind of makes sense. The display, in my brain, shouldn't cause the E-10 error. If this doesn't fix the problem, then we'll move on to whatever the next one will be. If this does not fix the problem, I will not update you again until we absolutely know that this bike is working. Let's go about replacing this and taking it for a test ride. All right, so the other day we put these little straps on. We'll replace these because we'll test it before we put it all back together. Now there are some screws up in here we got to take out, unless I didn't put them back in. I didn't put them back in, so that's really nice. Very nice. You can take it apart, not have to put it completely back together to test it. We reach up in here and we try to pull it out gently. Here it comes. All right, here's the bulk of it, and there's only four items. So one is the negative, one is the positive, one is the motor controller, and the other is the controller to the speed sensor. What we're going to do, we're going to be safe, because this one's black to red, this one's black to black. So it should be universal, but because it is not red to red, black to black, I'm just going to do them one at a time. Again, before you get started, just kind of look over this controller and make sure it's the same that you're replacing. This one is. Numbers look the same. Build looks exactly the same. So this will be good. Now, I really hope this solves the problem. Okay. Here's the red. So we take this one, we plug it on. Plug it in. Then the next one is this black one. Pull it out. We will put it back on. That's nice. Then the next is the short one. We'll just unplug it. And we'll set this down here, which then will be this short one. Now this will have these will have an arrow. Just make sure you plug these in properly. This should have arrows on it. There's an arrow here, straight up. There's an arrow here. Match the arrows, plug it in. Very simple. We will cut the ties. There's one here. There's one up under here, so I'll go to the other side to do that. Then we'll pull that straight up through. And pull the old controller out. Just run this wire through the down hole and out the back and plug it in and then strap it up. So just follow these two along the same lines. Here's where it's going to hold, here's where it's going to come to, and then here's where it's going to plug into. Align them, push it together. Now all the parts that hold this up in here and hold this into place, I'm not going to put in. I'm not worried about that until after I correct my problem. Once we get the problem corrected, we will then reassemble completely. I'm going to stretch a lot of this back up and put it up into here, because I know for a fact my plate, when I'm all done, is going to have to fit back up in here anyway. All right, now I think I can put this on, and there we go. So now that's all together. Now remember, we're just putting this battery in here and strapping it in for testing. All right, guys, it's 9 o'clock in the morning. It's 63 degrees, and as you can see, we just replaced the controller in the Nakto Santa Monica. They sent this the same day I got the trike, and we're gonna see, we put it in 20 minutes maybe, maybe less. And what we're gonna do now, we're gonna give it a ride, and we're gonna take the same route we took before, because we kind of know where it fails. And I did hook up the pedal sensor this time, because we know that that's not the cause of the problem. So everything's ready to go. We're going to run the Relive app, and we will add to this what we did last time, just so we see what this battery gets. We may take this for the whole ride now. Yeah, this is going to be a nice day. It's going to be in the upper 80s, or it was 90 yesterday, 90 something, and it's going to be in the 80s today. I don't know about the rest of the week. I think the rest of the week's going to be 80s and 70s. So pretty nice weather. Yeah, so I got a couple of things besides this I'm going to talk to you about. One is, I'm almost at 5,000 subscribers. I'm at the making of this. Of course, I hadn't looked at it in an hour. I am at 4971. So that's a good number. Again, remember, many of those are RV people. So it is what it is, guys. I sure like the bike riding, and I'd like to do more of it this summer. I'd like to get as much in as I can. My problems are commitments that I have to do on my own. I haven't pedaled yet, because we know the pedaling is not part of the problem with the E-10 error. But we know the problem with the E-10 error occurs up by that barn. So it takes a little bit of maybe the controller warming up, if that's what's causing it, and then it shuts down. And you can see my battery already dropped to 2, so it's gone pretty down a lot, really. So maybe we'll, get to where we think we need to. Let's just pedal, because it doesn't really matter. Doesn't matter how far I get, because I'll do a distant video on this bike at some point as well. I just want to make sure that this bike is fixed and working before I tell you, yeah, go ahead and get one. I can tell you it's smooth riding 20-mile-an-hour bike with a very small battery. So my recommendation would be to get 2 batteries for sure. I think this is a $1,200, $1,199 or $1,299 bike. Components are I'll tell you, for me, the best component is this Shimano shifter. I love that shifter, man. I like the one underneath better, but I just like the silver one just doesn't do it for me. And it's on all the majority of e-bikes. Yeah, not a great fan of it, but you know, it does its job too. It does what it's supposed to do, and it's other than breaking and shipping, or breaking it if you fall on it, it's pretty bulletproof little SIS shifter. I even considered using a fat marker to black it out, because I just don't like that chrome on it. Or plastic chrome. Plastic aluminum is what it looks like, I guess. Yeah, so I'm shifting between 2 and 3 levels on my battery. Can't tell you if we fix the problem or not until we get down here by the at least till we get back. If we get back on this trip, I would say we fixed the problem. I'm out on a scouting expedition too, because I'm going to take the drone out with the 3-wheeler, and I just want to make sure I take it to a good spot where I can land it, ride it, show the 3-wheeler, and get it back safely on the ground. That may be the next video. It's certainly within the next 2 videos. And we'll see how that goes. Yeah, 63 degrees in the morning here in Oregon is cold. So, especially with shorts and a t-shirt on. So yesterday, like I said, it was 92 degrees, beautiful day. And it will be beautiful later on. That's the thing, the hot window in Oregon is very short during the day and during the year. So that right there is the airplane where you can ride model airplanes. You got to belong to that club. I don't know how much it is, a couple $100 a year, $150 or something like that. And I don't use mine enough to do that. But my thought was, after we get past this house, is where I was going to kind of take my drone out and take it off on the next trike ride. Yeah. So we're pedaling along here, going up this hill, very easy. It does have resistance. Now we're up the hill. Yeah, so my thought was kind of taking it off over here and going all the way down this way with the drone, because there's no power lines on the right side. There are some coming up on the left side. Well, there are some on the left side. So I was thinking about flying it off on the right side here. So far so good on the controller, guys. See, and I know the old controller is bad because we unplugged everything on it as well when we gave it our second test. That's a nice little car. I wouldn't own one, but a nice little car. Now I have my reading glasses with me. I did forget in my haste to bring a pair of riding glasses with me. So I might get a bug in the eye. I'm not concerned with dirt or anything like that. There's no one out here today. Kind of nice. All right, we are beyond right now where it has given us errors in the past. So we got to this point twice, and it gave us an error by this point the last 2 rides. And on the first ride, I didn't take this route. I took another route, and it gave me an error at about this same distance. All right, Nakto, it looks like the controller fixed the problem. So I appreciate that. I appreciate the very fast turn on the controller. Like I said, it came in. They told me it was going to be a couple of weeks, but in reality, it was about 1 week, and it was at my doorstep. So kudos to them for that. I appreciate that. Yeah, the bike's riding great. You know, it was riding good with the E-10 Air as well. It still worked, but it was just giving me errors. So with that fixed, controller E-10 Air on a Nakto Santa Monica is most likely the controller. Like I said, I did the steps that, you know, it shows, not online from them, but I kind of looked at a couple of YouTube videos, and everyone's like, oh, E-10 is a communication error, and that communication error is, they were like, unplug all your plugs and plug them back in. Okay, I did all that. Still had it. Then Nakto reached out to me and said, hey, we think it's a controller display. I said, okay. So I said, instead of shipping me that, is there anything else it could possibly be? And they said, possibly the speed controller or the cadence sensor at the bottom. I said, all right, I'll disconnect the cadence sensor and give it a test. We disconnected the cadence sensor, and it errored again. So that was kind of on me, that second ride. Not that Nakto tried to tell me, oh, do this, do this, do this, do this. They instantly were like, okay, we're going to send you a display and a controller. So I said, well, let's check one more thing. You know, send me the cheap part if it's just the cadence sensor. And nope, wasn't the cadence sensor. It was definitely the controller. And I want to just say Nakto did everything possible, and were very nice about it. And for that, I give them kudos. And for that, I'm going to give them an extra ride on this bike somewhere down the line, where we'll bring it up again this summer. Say, hey, we're riding the Nakto. The thing I got to tell you, man, as ugly as these handlebars are, this is a very comfortable ride, guys. I mean, it is a comfortable ride. Component-wise, I think the bike has entry-level components, probably all around. I don't know that there's nothing on this bike that wouldn't be considered entry level, but that's okay, man. You know, some people don't want to spend, you know, $2,000 or $3,000 on a bike, and some people want a bigger bike and don't want a fat tire bike. Well, this is it. If you don't want a fat tire bike, but you want something that has some stability and you want a very comfortable ride, this bike could be your bike. Yeah, horn, not obnoxious, but certainly the people in front of you will hear it. Has a button for the lights. You can turn the lights on over here. Yeah, the shifter's decent. Like I said, I know it's a lower level shifter because it only has 6 speeds, but or 6 gears, but I'd rather have that personally, the black cheaper shifter for me, than the 7-speed level up shifter than this, that to me is just uglier. I'm about aesthetics. You wouldn't know it by looking at me, because I'm about the grungiest person. Not grunge. I shower every day, guys, but I don't wear great clothes unless I'm going to a wedding or something, and that's my choice. I can certainly afford anything that I want. Speaking of that, I don't know if you guys ever caught it, but on my last ride, or a couple rides ago, I was looking at new vehicles. Yes, I was on my ride to Stewart State Park. And I was talking about changing off from my internal combustion engine vehicle, ICE. I got a comment on that, and that's why I'm saying it, guys. I got a comment on it. I didn't know that, you know, they have, like, I guess, political meanings, but I didn't know. I just said it because I heard it a couple weeks ago, and I thought, oh, that's a cool word. So I'm changing from that to a electric car in the future. And the reason I'm doing it is I have my diesel F-350 truck that pulls my RV, right? So my F-350 is a 2021, and gosh, I don't have many miles on it at all, under 7,000, and that's because it's dedicated to pulling my RV, and we just don't RV that much. But I'm not going to just pull the truck out. I pull it out once a month and give it a ride, but I'm not just going to put miles on it to put miles on it. And we have my wife's BMW, which is a nice car, but as we get older, as I get older, I struggle getting in and out. And my wife is recognizing that as well. My left knee, from twisting getting out, is just not a great way to get in and out of the Beamer, because it sits so low. So that's one thing. And then I have my Jeep, which I love the Jeep. It's got a lot of miles on it, though. We're broaching 130,000. Hasn't caused me a lot of problems, and I do like it. But we're probably going to go to a one-car family when my wife finishes working, because we don't need 1, 2, 3 vehicles. We have the BMW, the Jeep. I'm going to go this way. And yeah, there's no air, guys. We're far enough along, we should have had air, and there's no air. But I'm and we'll test it now going up this hill. We'll give it some, let that controller work some, put out some of them 20 amps it's got. But we don't need the Jeep, the BMW, the truck, and then, you know, 25 e-bikes. So I've been looking at changing out, and I wasn't looking at an electric car to begin with. I was just kind of looking at vehicles, and I was looking at, you know, an SUV, of course, a small SUV. I was going to buy my son's Jeep Grand Cherokee, because he just bought a new Grand Cherokee, and my wife drove it a couple weeks before he bought his new one, and she's like, "This is a big vehicle, honey." So I said, "You don't want it?" And she goes, I really wouldn't prefer driving it if I had to, if I could do smaller. Okay, that's good. Good information. So I told him, yeah, trade it in. And he got the new one. I was glad, because I'm so envious of his new one. It's such a nice vehicle. Looking, and I see a Cadillac Lyriq. Now, I know, it's every old guy's dream, old American dream, to have a Cadillac. I've never had one, never really wanted one until I turned about 60. My father-in-law had one when I was in my 40s, and I wasn't crazy about it. I was like, okay. But I always liked their symbol. I always liked the symbol. So when I started looking, I ran across the Cadillac Lyriq, and I hadn't found a whole lot of bad information about it. So I've been looking for maybe a month now at that car, and looked at how hard it is to get. They're very difficult to come by, and they don't make many of them. So I got a hold of a couple of Cadillac dealers, and finally yesterday placed my order for a 2024 Cadillac Lyriq. The problem is, in talking to the sales manager or guy, whoever he is, oh, this feels great here. He said that Cadillac stopped the online ordering because they had too many back orders, too many that they aren't fulfilling yet. And I said, well, man, I'm not in a rush. I mean, I'm really not in a rush. I mean, I'm okay with late 2024, 2025. I don't care. I got vehicles, so I'm not in a rush. And so yesterday they placed the order because Cadillac can place the order. Your what do you call those? Your dealer can place the order. You just can't place an order. So today's Wednesday, tomorrow's Thursday. The order goes in tomorrow, supposedly. Now he may call me and say, yeah, we can't even place the order. I don't know. But I'm going to turn back around here. This is far enough for me. There's not much going on down there. We go down there, we go down a hill. Well, let's do it. What the heck? I don't know how much of this I'm going to show you. I'm just rattling on about my car. But he told me, he goes, yeah, they do 100,000. They only make 30,000 a year. So where's that put you, Bruce? 23, 24, maybe 25. Like, you know what? I don't care. I'm good with that. Let's order it. So the order will be given tomorrow, but I gave them all my information yesterday, and we'll see. So go ahead and look online. It's like Music Lyriq. Man, that is such a nice car, and it's a reasonably priced electric car. And at this point, man, minor little complaints other than delivery. Other than delivery, the complaints are nothing. Look how beautiful this is, guys. Golly, I'm just gonna stop, pull off the road here, and just give you a little turn with the camera, just so you can see how beautiful is the place I live. Yeah, golly. So the Cadillac Lyriq will be here in 2025. But a very reasonably priced electric vehicle. Does over 300 miles per charge. And that's what I'm doing. Unless something in the meantime comes in better. I'm not, Tesla's just too minimalistic for me in terms of its look. The Cadillac still looks like a beast of an American vehicle, and that's kind of what I want. So there you have it. Cadillac on order. I'm getting it in white, if you want to know. Oh my gosh, what a beautiful, beautiful day. Yeah, that's the Nakto right there, guys, with a little strap holding the battery on. My bad on that, but I don't want to put it together and still have an error. Yeah. Does come without a rack. It comes without fenders. Pretty basic bike, but man, it rides nice. I'm enjoying the ride a lot. All right, we'll turn around and head back. Yeah, as we get up here, we'll turn, it'll go downhill, and then it runs into a like a dirt farm field, which is this field here. Yeah, I'll just turn and kind of show you, and then we'll just turn around. But if you look, you go down this hill, you turn here and you turn that way, and then you're on a dirt path. This road here, this is where it connects from Highway 6 to Highway 26, and you take 26 that way for, well, a couple of miles, and then you're back at my house. Maybe 3 miles, but this way it takes longer, about 6 miles, maybe 7. You know why I told you guys this in the past too, why I like old barns. Here, I'm going to turn and show you this one. And this is probably why I like them. See this old barn right here? No, I'm not talking about the nice ones over here. I'm talking about this one right here, the one straight in front of me. Well, I grew up in Chicago, but my family is from Alabama. And we used to go up on the mountain. It's called Mount Egypt, I think. We used to go up there to one of my uncle's house. It was one of my great-grandma's house. Yeah, my great-grandma's house. My uncle lived with her. And we used to go up there, and it didn't have a crooked opening like that. And it was bigger. It's maybe like the one in the middle, but I remember it looking more like that in terms of its look, but bigger. And as a kid, man, I used to go in that barn all the time and used to have a good time when we were up at the mountain. And yeah, so just a childhood thing, I think, that makes me enjoy barns and stuff like that. So I'd imagine we're around 65 degrees. Let's take a look. It's warmer. It's 9:30, so I've been riding a half hour. And let's see. Click. Yeah, 63 degrees still. So it didn't warm up, but it sure feels warmer over here. Yeah, today I'm gonna mow my lawn. I had used weed killer, and it has killed the weeds in my beds, and I'm gonna weed whack those down, and hopefully most of them won't come back for a year, because I used ortho ground clear on it, and the ones that do will hit it again, and then that should kind of almost solve the problem for me. Yeah, this battery's doing really, really well. It's still back to 3. It's fluctuating between 2 and 3 on the display bars, and now it's back down to 2. It was at 3, and we've gone 6 miles. So I think it's 6 miles. Is that what I said? We gone? Let's see. Yeah, 7 miles, 6.8 miles from the house. Looks like little palm trees. Pretty sure they're not, but they look like little palm trees. This guy's got a lot of property. This Dyke Farms. So a lot of, what do you call those, Holland, people from Holland, Dutch people here. All this area here, this is called Broy Road, and they do Christmas lights on like it's a riding lane for people to gawk at. They do a really nice job on most of these, and you just drive your car down here and see all the Christmas lights. We did it the first few years we were here, and then haven't done it in a long time. But yeah, that's where I learned that this was people from Holland or Denmark kind of area. Dutch people. Yeah, so got some other stuff too. I don't usually talk about other e-bike companies when I ride someone else's bike, but Magicycle's coming out with the mini deer. I like to refer it as a doe, or what do you call a mini, a baby deer? A kid? No, that's a goat. A doe, a fawn, something like that. So, yeah, the mini deer's coming out. Looks just like the deer, just shrunk down. Almost looks like the Ocelot platform where they added rear suspension. Very nice. Comes in the 3 colors that the deer comes in, yellow, green, and gray. And certainly my boy and girls have not reached out to me, but maybe they will here soon. I sure would love a green or a yellow one. I got another e-bike coming too. Mid-June it's supposed to arrive in the US, and I'm assuming that's probably, what do you call that, wishful thinking, but say maybe it leaves China in mid-June and it arrives here some weeks later. But hopefully by the end of the year I will have that bike, or the end of the summer, before the end of the summer, maybe in August or September, I'll have that bike. And I'm real excited about it too. It's the one that I've been waiting on for a long time. And I hadn't been in contact with them for a long time, but they reached back out to me last week, and she said, hey Bruce, your new contact person is this person. I'm moving on to either a different position or something. So contact them or they'll contact you. Fantastic. They're still communicating with me, so that's a good thing. So I'm still assuming when it comes in, I'm getting it. And that bike, for me, is very cool. And then after that bike, and if Magicycle sends me that bike, the mini deer, that's great. But probably I have some information for you I will share with you at the end of summer. Yeah, at the end of summer I'll share something with you that is interesting, exciting for me, and yeah, pretty pumped about it as well. Unless something changes, that's my new information. Yep. Yeah, it doesn't feel like it's going to get up into the 80s today, man. This is feeling still, I mean, great, because you know I'm going to go out and work in the yard, and this is the perfect weather for yard work. Like I said, probably 5 degrees too cold for bike riding. Maybe 7 degrees. 70's great. I'm always amazed at farmers when they till up their field. The first time they till it, you get these big chunks of dirt, just clumps. Then the next time they till it, it's smaller. Then they till it again, and now it's looking like that, man. Very close to, you know, you put a landscape brake on that right there, and that's yard quality, at least my yard. Yeah. And they do all that in hours, man, in hours. When I did my 2.5 acres with my little Johnny, it was almost all day, I think. And then I went out the next day and did it again, break it up some more. And then I had to, then I pulled one of them yard rakes around for a day, getting all the weeds and stuff out of it that I killed. And then I planted my, what do you call, I got meadow grass. And now, whatever, 4 years later, 3 years later, I think 4 maybe, 3 years later, the voles and the gophers have made a mess of it again. But my wife really likes the meadow grass. She likes the flowers in the winter, in the summer, and spring. She likes looking at them. Me personally, give me some field grass, I'd be happier. Although the meadow grass stays green, and everyone's grass around me in their acreage dies and looks like this this gray field, kind of beige, but mine stays pretty green all winter, or all summer, I'm sorry, all summer. Yep, we still got one battery bar, and let's see if I stop pedaling, do we get 2? Yep, pops back up to 2. So it does have some slump, some battery slump. But the good thing is we've eliminated the E-10 error. Yeah, I think if on these handlebars, man, if they just made them a little cooler looking, this is a great position. It's a great position for an older person, and I'm considering myself that old person at 65 years old. Well, 66 this year. How about that? A great position. I would trade this ride for any lean forward ride. Any lean forward ride. Yeah, sure would. I'll show you something. Y'all see that weed with the white flower right there? See that weed with the white flower? That is some form, let me tell you what it is. That is some form of like wild radish. At least that's what it smells like when you pull it and you sniff the root. Well, I had that in my yard before I tilled it all under, and now, you know, with time as it grows in, that stuff, I still have maybe 6 or 7 plants that keep growing back in my yard. Not my good grass, my meadow. And every time I mow, I think that's the one that gets me. So I don't have allergies for anything, but that thing gets my eyes every time. And it's only when I mow them. Yeah. Hey, another interesting thing. Yeah, these guys out here that run these. Well, that one's going to be a gas powered, but we just went by and someone's running an electric plane. When I go there and kind of watch them, most of the time they're running electric. So it's funny how even that's changed. The thing about electric, man, the reliability is incredible. And to know you can go X number of miles or X number of whatever minutes, and you'll be fine is is really a good thing. And I'm thinking of my new car. You know, it has 307-mile range, and that's a good thing, man. That's going to be a great thing. So you go, well, 300 miles ain't much, Bruce. Well, you know what? 300 miles is all we go in a week. Typically, if you do 300 a week times 52 weeks, you're looking at 15,000 miles. Most people don't go 15,000 miles in a year. We typically, in 2 cars, might do 12. So that's why I was making sure I got a vehicle that had 300-mile range. And I think they're only going to get better over time. But 300 miles to me, that's charging it once a week. Now, I'll probably charge it more. It probably will get more than that. I'll probably charge it every 3 days or something. Because I like to keep it in that buffer zone between, you know, whatever, 80 and 20 or something like that. But I love the fact that electric has such reliability. Yeah, the only thing these handlebars make feel like is kind of like Pee Wee Herman, Pee Wee's Big Adventure. No errors. So that's a fix. That is a fix. Now I'm just gonna reassemble it, and I'm not gonna show you that. It's just a reverse of taking it apart. Very simple. And we'll call that complete. Didn't change gears, still going up this pretty good incline. And we are up. And the battery is flickering as if, hey, I'm using most of my power, but it stopped flickering now because I was putting strain on it. No strain right now, not flickering. All right, guys, that's the ride. No errors, as you can see right there. Fantastic. Yeah, fantastic. That's the best ride on the bike so far. Best ride because it didn't give me any errors, no grief, no nothing. All right, we're going to end the video here. That's the Nakto Santa Monica entry-level bike, but a very nice entry-level bike. A very nice 26-inch bike if you want a 26-inch bike that's not going to break the bank. It's a nice riding bike, actually. And again, that problem, the controller, could have happened to any bike and does happen to many bikes. So I'm not holding that against them. They fixed it very fast. They sent me the part very quick, and that's a plus. All right, guys. All right, guys, that's the video for the day. I hope you enjoyed it. Please like, share, and subscribe below, and we'll see you on the next episode.